Today, we are going to build a personalized learning plan completely from scratch. I'm going to show you step by step how you can use this incredible AI tool, NotebookLM, to master pretty much any subject you can think of. Seriously, it could change the way you learn forever.
We've all been there, right? You're staring at a mountain of articles, textbooks, and videos, just feeling completely buried. This quote just hits the nail on the head. We have endless information, but the real bottleneck is turning all of that noise into actual knowledge.
So, does this feel familiar? You spend hours, maybe even days, digging for information, but when it comes time to connect the dots, it's just not clicking. It's a super common frustration, but what if there was a way to completely flip that script?
Well, say hello to NotebookLM. Now think of this less like a search engine and more like your own personal research partner. Its entire job is to help you work with your materials, to become an expert on the documents you give it. It's all about helping you transform that raw data into real understanding.
Okay, so here's the secret sauce, the thing that makes it so different. NotebookLM is what we call a source-grounded AI. That just means it works inside a closed loop. It's not going to go searching the wide-open, sometimes kind of weird internet. Nope, it only uses the documents you upload, which means its answers are way more accurate, and you don't get those strange made-up facts that other AIs can sometimes spit out.
And this slide really breaks it down perfectly. A general chatbot, that's kind of like shouting a question into a giant, noisy library where anyone can answer. But NotebookLM, that's like having a private conversation with an expert who has only read the exact books you handed them. And the best part? Every single answer comes with citations, pointing you right back to the original text.
All right, our journey today is going to follow a really simple but powerful three-step process. First, we're going to build our knowledge base, then we'll actually talk with it, and finally, we'll use some cool tools to really achieve true mastery of the material.
So let's dive right in. Step 1, build your notebook. This is where we lay the groundwork, the foundation for our entire learning project. And remember, the quality of what you get out depends completely on the quality of what you put in right here.
It all starts with 3 really simple actions. First, just create a new notebook. This keeps your project focused. Second, upload your sources, all that raw material. And third, and this is a pro tip for sure, organize your sources with a clear naming system from the get-go. Trust me on this, it'll make your life so much easier later on.
And just look at how flexible this is. You can build your knowledge base from pretty much any digital source you've got. We're talking PDFs, Google Docs with your notes, articles from the web. You can even use transcripts from YouTube lectures or upload audio files. You can create a seriously comprehensive library on any topic.
Okay, foundation is built. Now for step 2, dialogue with data. We've got our library, and now it's time to actually interact with it. This is where we switch from being a passive reader to a truly active learner.
This right here, this is the heart of the whole thing. Instead of just highlighting text or rereading the same paragraph over and over, you can now have a conversation with your documents. You can ask really specific questions, ask for summaries. You can dig into the material in a way that's just impossible with a static file.
You know, this quote from a user just says it all. We don't want a tool that just dumps information on us. We want a partner that helps us think. And that's exactly what NotebookLM's Learning Guide feature does. It acts like your own personal AI tutor, asking you questions to help you break down problems and build a much deeper understanding, one step at a time.
And finally, that brings us to step 3, achieve true mastery. I mean, it's one thing to understand a topic for an hour, but it's a whole other ballgame to make that knowledge stick around. This last phase is all about locking in what you've learned for the long term.
So what's the secret? How do we actually move information from our short-term memory into our long-term memory? Well, the science is pretty clear on this. One of the best ways is something called retrieval practice, which is just a fancy way of saying you actively test yourself on what you've learned.
And NotebookLM makes this incredibly easy. It can instantly generate flashcards or quizzes right from your documents. But here's the real game changer. If you get an answer wrong, you can just click Explain, and it gives you an immediate breakdown of the correct answer, complete with citations pointing you to the exact spot in your notes. It's an amazing feedback loop.
You know, mastery also comes from hitting the material from different angles. The audio overview feature lets you reinforce your learning through a totally different channel, your ears. It's perfect for when you're on a walk, at the gym, or anytime you can listen but can't read.
And this isn't just some robotic voice reading text at you. You can actually choose different formats. If you need a quick summary, pick brief. Want a critical analysis? Choose critique. Or, and this is my personal favorite, you can listen to a debate where two AI hosts discuss different perspectives they found in your sources. It's such a dynamic way to think about complex ideas.
So when you follow this workflow, a really fundamental shift happens. You're no longer just a passive information digger searching for little bits of data. You are now actively constructing your own deep, interconnected understanding. You've become a knowledge builder. So at the end of the day, learning isn't just about memorizing facts anymore. It's about being an architect, building systems to make those facts meaningful. With a tool like NotebookLM, you have the blueprint. The only question left is, are you ready to start building?